Well, good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today, we're looking at the beer for sports. That's right, this is the beer for sports. If you're going to do sports, this is the beer for you. Yeah! This is our multinational brewing, which is just down the street from me. I believe it's on 13th, or is it 15th? 15th, and I believe right off of Winnipeg and 15th. I believe I just go straight down until I get to 15th, and then I turn right and I walk until I get to the brewery. And it's a 10-minute walk from my door, so I'm always hoping to find good things. I hear great things about them, that they do great sours, great stouts, and a lot of pales. And as most of you know, I'm not huge on pales. Wasn't a fan of their Pilsner, but apparently there was a bottling line mishap. I don't know if mine was one of those ones that was affected or not. I don't know. But we got the beer for sports. And this is 5.5% alcohol, and it is a pale wheat ale. So, and it's canned December of 23. Pale wheat ale. So again, there's a lot of these, because I just did a West Coast wheat lager, and now we have a pale wheat ale. So there's a lot of like regular beers that are becoming a new style as wheat here in Saskatchewan. But again, home of the barley fields and everything, right? So, and the wheat fields and all that. So you kind of expect it. Now this was bought right at the brewery, and it was canned in December. So that either tells me that they had a whole lot of them, and they haven't really canned it in a while, or it's not hugely popular, or they just don't really rotate and they keep the older stock at the brewery and sell the stores the newer stock. I have seen brewers do that. I'm not really a fan of it. I think what you get from the source should be the freshest there is. But I'm not saying that's how they do it, because I don't know. I don't know how they do it. So that is pretty... Well, actually, you know what? It does have a bit of a haze. There is like a shadow towards my hand. Bright white head. Little snap, crackle, pop. Thick. I do like the look of it, though. I mean, visually, I like the appeal of both the can and the beer in the glass. The beer in the glass just looks like beer, and that's kind of what I want out of this beer, is just beer, right? Now, the can, why is there an octopus arm? Anyway, I was going to say I like the can because it's just very simple, and I like the simple. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are times where I can look at a flashy can and be like, I kind of like this. But for me, the simpler the can, the more I like it, because I don't want you to try and sell me on your looks, right? There's so many things back here that I'm looking at right now, and I'm like, that is way overdone. It doesn't need to be that flashy. And then there's sports. The beer for sports. And I mean, I can't get over just how we'll sniff it and then we'll add the rest and see if any more haze comes out or anything. We'll give it a little bit of a in there. Ooh, that is very pale ale-esque. Orange, grapefruit, and papaya. Lots of citrus coming out of there. And grapefruit peel. You get that oily resininess out of the can. Out of the can, it's the exact same, but the resininess, the oiliness, the pith shows off more. Okay, yeah, there is a lot more haze in the bottom there. So this is a proper wheat at the same time. It is coming with some sludge. I like it. I like it a lot. I love that bright white head. The snap, crackle, pop is so subtle. My wife was just listening to a song that I heard when I went upstairs, and it was like, I ain't a bitch till you make me one. I ain't a bitch. I ain't a bitch. But then I go off like a... And I'm like, what the fuck is... She loves her country, right? We were from the Ottawa Valley, okay? There's a lot of country. It does smell nice, though. I won't... Okay, let's get into it. Cheers. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. If it's a beer for sports, I kind of expect it to have very little flavor. I mean, you just want a refreshing, easy drinking brewski. If it's a beer for sports, you want a brewski, you want a brew, you want a pounder, you want this, you want that. This isn't that. This is not that. If you're looking for a craft pale ale, this is a craft pale ale. You can say pale wheat ale all you want. It's a pale ale with wheat, of course. It is a little heavier bodied than a regular pale ale, which again would make sense with the wheat. Lots of citrus, both fruity zestiness of blood orange, fruity zestiness of grapefruit, fruity zestiness of papaya and passion fruit, and then resiny zestiness of orange, grapefruit, and a little bit of lemon. And then just a tiny touch of pine at the very back. Actually, there's a touch of pineapple in there too, which is a nice little flavor right in the middle. It's a very Moorish beer because you're getting a well-balanced bitterness and sweetness. And the bitterness on the back of the palate does lend to you wanting to drink more. Just to rinse that bitterness off. But the way this affects your taste buds, I think this would be great for savory foods. I think you could drink this with a nice Indian curry or a nice... you know what? Even like a nice shawarma with a good Mediterranean garlic paste, because it would help wash that off the tongue really nicely. I can't say I dislike this beer. I can't say I love this beer. Would I buy Sports again? Probably not. Saying that, it's not a no per se. Like if I'm at the right place, I'm at the right venue, I'm at, I don't know, a Regina. I don't know what the sports teams are here. I'm too new. But let's say I'm at a, excuse me, a junior hockey game, or I'm at some type of football game or something. And does Saskatchewan Roughriders play in Regina, or do they play in Saskatoon? I don't. Anyway, that's just, but say I'm at a football game or I'm at something like that and Sports is there. Could I see myself buy it? Possibly. I mean, over like a Bud Light or a Coors or something, yeah, I would buy this. But on the regular, would I go into a Sobeys Liquor and never buy this again? No. Would I go into multinational and never buy this again? Probably not, because if I'm going into multinational, I'm going in to buy something I really liked, or I'm going in to buy something new. So all that being said, it's a solid beer. That cut is not healing well. It's a solid beer, but I don't know how much I would ever think of buying it again. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no off flavors. I respect the guys that brewed it. I respect that this is how they wanted it brewed. I respect that it's something different. I respect that it could stand up to a lot of pale ales in Ontario. It could stand up to a lot of pale ales in BC. It could stand up to a lot of pale ales in Quebec. It could stand up to a lot of the pale ales I've had from New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. So this pale wheat ale can stand on its own. It's still not a beer I'm super excited about. But I can't say I won't drink it. So for that, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I would drink it. I have no complaints about drinking it. It's not what my personal taste is in a beer, which is perfectly fine. If you guys love it, that's great. If you haven't had it and you get a chance to try it. Let me know what you think. And that's really all this is about, right? Thank you guys. Bye-bye.